Nowadays, transportation is pretty amazing. You could go from one place to the other in a convenience of a vehicle. Do you want to go to China? Faceplane into an airplane and see the other side of the world. It's really just amazing. Here to there to here. You could pretty much think of any place and you could get there within a day or so. And a matter of fact, what we managed to accomplish with it is just astonishing. We essentially managed to make vehicles go into space using rockets and satellites and stuff. And we have people in space experiencing different sets of gravity. Simply just insanity. We achieved this age of transportation decades ago. And we are still wondering if we could ever get our hands on that nice teleportation machine. And that's why we had the Area 51 raid. But not to get off point here, vehicles despite a slowing development rate still do a lot of stuff. But the things we have access to in our normal day lives on a daily basis is probably driving a car, taking the bus, taking a train, taking an Uber, or even just riding around on a bike is what we all use to get around to places where we need to work or go to school. Are you taking the bus? Then just insert your card into the slot and you get on the bus filled with random strangers. It's cool. You just travel somewhere with a bunch of people who are either on their phones or just staring their way around. It seems like a really weird thing to say out loud, but when I really think about it, it's like a horizontal elevator that could hold dozens of people. They both can get pretty awkward when you mention how awkward the ride is. And there's just that unwritten law where you just can't stare at people because they'll make things even more awkward. You keep telling yourself to keep staring out that window and hopefully you will get there faster. I don't blame you, it's pretty boring. Sometimes you have weirdos and most of the time nothing happens. You just sit there and talk with your friend or make friends with a random stranger and get kidnapped and sold on Craigslist. However, no matter what happens from here, you're still on a transportation vehicle despite moving from that bus to that shady kidnapping van. You could call buses obsolete for that reason, or you could call it obsolete because you're basically trusting the bus driver to not get into a car crash. Or a bus crash because it's a bus. Anyways, buses could be quite shady for that reason, where you could just hop on and dive your way onto a seat. There is a big but with this though, because as I mentioned earlier, most people are starting to get into Ubers or already use Ubers. I get it, it's 2019. You can classify as whatever you want. You want to be gay? Go ahead. Do you want to be from an alternate reality that classifies you as a steampunk cop from the 1930s with an angry cyborg Paul Blart as your CEO master of NASA? Fine. Do you want to be a furry? Maybe. I can't confirm that one, but about the Uber thing. Ubers are probably one of the most shadiest ways of transportation. You get into somebody's car and hope that they take you places. Whatever happened to not hopping into a stranger's car? Where did that go? Taking candy from a stranger was already a broken rule from Halloween. And now you got kids throwing themselves into shady vans because they think Jake from State Farm is going to take them to Chipotle. It's alarming. Well, for parents anyway. That transportation is starting to really become extremely dependent on trust. Unlike how it used to be. And you would basically have to trust other people not to be rapists and instead be introverts or extroverts just like you. And as you sit there in their old car, do you really expect them to be the definition of a normal person and say nothing or start conversing? Google is stupid. Octopodes is the plural of octopus. Anyway, Uber has really changed how the transportation game works. And has really changed at least part of society's look upon it. Personally, I don't take the bus or an Uber because I'd rather walk places. It's weird. I'd rather be able to control where I'm going, at what speed, than to lazily just go onto a vehicle. It could be trust issues or control issues. I don't really care, but what I notice is that wherever I go, it takes the same amount of time to walk there as it does to take the bus. I'm either a fast walker or the bus is hitting every stop possible, which is pretty inconvenient that I could outrun a bus from one distance to the other. And now that I've really said that out loud, it's just awful. Transportation sucks! I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's kind of like a mini clip video, but still a video. I'm getting used to making videos during the school months, and I'm just trying to get used to things and getting more uploads with better quality. It's significantly harder since I'm trying to balance out school as well. So I'll probably be doing videos around this length and keep a slow but steady upload. My content isn't going to be this consistent, but I'll try to do things more animation wise so my channel doesn't go all over the place. If you guys exist and are watching this video, subscribe and do stuff. Bye!